All right. Last weekend before Thanksgiving's up, I am proud to announce that November continues to be hosting great movies. And with that being said, let's get into this. Real quick, if you like my content, give me a follow on TikTok, give me a subscribe on YouTube. All right, so if you saw my uh, roll video last night, you know Big Fish didn't work out. And I've been told multiple times that I've seen that movie already, which I don't remember. So I re-rolled and we got a Last Breath. Apparently, this is based on a very true story where Finn Cold's character found himself without oxygen under about 300 feet below sea level for 30 minutes. Honestly, it was a very nerve wracking movie and, dare I say it, an incredible one. Honestly, Finn Cole wasn't in the movie for long, but with what time he did have to act, he was incredible. Woody Harrelson and Simu Liu were also fantastic as the divers that were working with Cole when the whole thing happened. The acting all around from everyone on the ship trying to get him to Harrelson and Liu was truly remarkable. And honestly, the underwater sections were just as nerve wracking as the the moments on the ship. Honestly, the only thing I have is that the pacing felt off at a few points. You can't really pinpoint where. But given that this actually happened and Cole's character actually survived, that is truly impressive and arguably one of the most fascinating true stories I've ever seen. And yeah, the writing really elevated this story to new heights. The acting was downright remarkable, and the cinematography is truly great. It's a shame this movie flew so far under the radar that I don't think anybody knows this movie came out this year. Honestly, it was a movie that really makes you consider how much breath you have and how rough it can make one's thalassophobia or fear of deep what's under the deep in the ocean, what's deep fear of the deep oceans. That's honestly the pacing that I couldn't pinpoint being off kind of takes off a few points for me. But it's not enough to keep it from getting an 8.5 out of 10. Alright, and now for probably one of the most perfectly timed movies of the 2020s. Anyone who has heard of Palm Springs knows that it dropped on Hulu right as the world was shutting down in 2020. And given that I watched it tonight, I can safely say that this movie is still great. Is great no matter what year you're watching it. For those who don't know, Andy Samberg's character her is trapped in a time loop, has been in a while, or for a while. After one incident, and he unintentionally brings Kristen Milioti into it, and the two are basically trying to find a way out. Well, Milioti is. Sandberg's trying to revel in it. And the two fall in love. All while repeating the same day with different outcomes. Oh, and J.K. Simmons is in there as a dude Sandberg met previously and ruined his life by trapping him in said time loop. Honestly, this is probably one of the most enjoyable R-rated comedies I've seen in a long time. And I have no doubt that if this were to have dropped in theaters, it would not have done as well or been as impactful. But the writing is so sharp that you genuinely feel engaged in it. Meanwhile, the acting from Milioti, Sandberg, Simmons, and most of the rest of the cast is truly very well handled. I mean, dare I say it, this might actually be Andy Samberg's best performance. And I say that with my whole chest. My one gripe is that, I don't know, while many of the actors are doing great with their work, a few of them fall pretty flat, especially the character of Misty. Also, Tyler Hoechlin's character is just a stereotype of the cheating partner for another character. And I'm not the biggest fan of that. Still, overall, it was a great movie. It was a very funny and heartfelt rom-com that works more often than it misses. And when I say that, I mean it's an 8 out of 10 in terms of how funny it is. I recommend go watching it if you got Disney Plus and Hulu, because it is great. Alright, so as I said, this was the final weekend before Thanksgiving. And given that I have 3 days off for Thanksgiving, we will be rolling for 3 different movies. And then a repeat of this kind of weekend thing afterwards, because there's the weekend before and the weekend of the Game Awards, which I will be watching my movie for December 11th early in the day. Anyway, that's this week's video. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. And as always, y'all stay interesting.